All right, welcome back. You're still on Breakfast Daily, and it's time for us to go into some communities to have some interesting look. We're shining the light. Always on this segment, we're shining the light on issues, challenges, difficulties, problems, circumstances, whatever is going on in different communities across the country. We shine a light on it to try and bring up the conversations that need to be had and call on duty bearers to do the right thing. Of course, the hashtag is Breakfast Daily. If you're watching us on our streams, WhatsApp line is 0550-585832. Now, we're going to be going to the eastern region, and there's galamsey issues are horrible. Horrible. And Vivian Kaloko is still with me on the set this morning, and we're going to be looking at something that an experience that she had recently. And let's find out from her a little bit, then we'll go and look at the report after that. Vivian, hi again.
I'm sure you're saying, should I welcome you back? Hello.
So,
before, Dalike said what?
Yeah, he said, oh, you are one of the people who has been putting enmity between me and him. Yeah.
I'll give him a memo today. I'll show him that I'm the boss.
Thank you. That he works in your office, not the other way around.
I'll deal with him, don't worry. Tomorrow you hear. 2 weeks straight. Don't come and beg for him. But 2 weeks.
Yeah, okay.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Kwaebiberem, David, thank you for having me again. So on Friday, we went to the eastern region, to the Kwaebiberem municipality, specifically Achim-Techiman. Now, the focus or the reason why we went there, we've been having discussions on this galamsey issue, illegal mining, whichever way you want to term it. And we've been looking at the impact on our water security. Remember last week, Thursday, we had a whole dialogue over 2 hours looking at our water security, where players in the water industry have warned us that we're already importing water because of these galamsey issues, climate change and all that. And then secondly, it will get to a point where we'll not be able to get potable water in our homes because the Ghana Water Company cannot get enough water to, process to feed us with the potable water. And then you come to the impact of the chemicals they are using on our environment in the name of getting these resources. And then, of course, the impact on the environment as a whole. But on Friday, the focus of our trip was 2 things. We're looking at the impact of illegal mining or mining, whatever, on farming. And in this case, narrowing it to cocoa farms. Okay. That's one. Okay. And then the second thing we're looking at was the diversion and the destruction of our water bodies because of mining. So this was the focus of our trip. Right. Yeah. So if you look at the cocoa part, which is the destruction of cocoa farms for illegal mining, what we saw was most of these cocoa farms in this area, which was the Achim-Techiman area, had been dug for mining purposes. So you see these huge pits, which are as deep as 20 feet, which have been dotted all over the place. So what they do is they go to the place. The gold is usually in the farms and the riverbeds and all that. So they go there, they dig, they take what they want, and then they move on. There are actually three types of miners. You have the large-scale miners. You have between the medium and small-scale miners, and those at the very bottom. So the large-scale miners are the ones with the huge excavators. They go, they dig, they do the washing. So they dig 2 pits. One extracts the gold, the other puts on the machines. They wash, dump the water into the second pit, and the water is being taken from the pumped from the rivers. So you have them. Then you have the second group of miners who have the detectors. So they move around in the forest with the detectors.
Checking where the gold
so when they hear they stop there and start digging. And they do the box holes. So you see these box holes are half of the sofa. They dig all, they have the shovels and the basins and moving. And then we have the third, which are basically not, they're not the very, small scale. They go, when the big guys finish, they go there, and wash it and get the powder and then sell it back to. So these are the 3 types of people you're seeing. Now with the cocoa part, what you're seeing is most of the cocoa farmers are moving away from the farming, or those into palm or cassava or plantain, because the incentives, one is high there, the other is low. So those who are going into the gold, they are getting good money, good cash. So a cocoa farmer was trying to give me the reality of the calculation. He told me when he farms his cocoa beans in sacks, 1 sack wouldn't even buy him a bottle of oil. Meanwhile, meanwhile, the galamsey guy is making so much. He's building houses. He's opening commercial, hubs and all that. So if you compare the two, what makes your children want to stay in, to do the farming?
Okay, so Vivian, I think we should go and have a first-hand look at exactly what you experienced on the ground there. We'll come back and then we'll expand the conversation further. Take a look at this.
I'm from the Eastern region, specifically the Kwaebiberem municipality of the Eastern region. I bring you sights and sounds of the various illegal mining activities happening here in the Eastern region. I'm currently at a mining area, and right behind me you can see what is supposed to be a river. But because of the mining issues, that is not happening. Now, this stretch on a normal day will be a cocoa farm. If you look behind me, you can see some spots of cocoa trees as well as plantain and then oil palm. But we're told that yesterday, this area you're seeing, the illegal miners started working here. I'm told that this area has a river here. It's been here for years, but the activities of the illegal mining, we don't have that river here. They have blocked the access route of this river. Behind this side, you see a huge pit that has been dug by an excavator. Also on my left side, you see a similar site of the digging of excavators, having an impact on the environment, destroying the water bodies, a threat to our water security, among others. I'm still in the Kwaebiberem municipality, bringing you the level of devastation of this municipality because of the activities of illegal miners. I'm currently at a mining site and right on top of an excavator. Now, if you look around me, you may think this is a construction site or something of a sort, but don't be deceived. The heaps of sands that you're seeing, the mountains of sand, and in some cases, water looking like a mini pond or area, are abundant galamsey sites. Now, this area used to be a cocoa farm, and along the line, there is a water body that was there. Now, today, that water body has been diverted, in some cases destroyed because of the activities of illegal mining. I'm speaking to a gentleman who lives in this community. He is a farmer. Give us an idea of the area we are in. We know we're in the Eastern region. What constituency is this?
We are in Citi, Kwaebiberem municipal.
Okay, so this area is within the Achim
Techiman area.
Okay, so what was this place like before?
Okay, when I grew up, we came to me that all this place were having cocoa trees and other cash crops.
So this is a cocoa farm?
Yes.
What is happening?
For the past 10 years, we came to realize that unknown men from nowhere came to this place and they started taking off the topsoil, destroying properties over here, yet to come to realize that it is the galamsey issue that is happening over here. And actually, as you can see around, we have a lot of cocoa trees around. All these places were filled with cocoa trees. And as you can see with your eye, there's no cocoa tree over here. They've taken everything away, all because of the so-called gold mining activity in this community.
So you're saying that these men that were doing this happened 8 years ago?
Oh, yes, please.
So this area has been abandoned for the past 8 years?
Yes, please. We were having River Pram. That is the main source of drinking water for farmers around this area. And the most saddest part of it is that now, as you can see, the posture and then what they have done over here, it is saying that now if you're a farmer and you want to go to farm, you have to carry water from the house to the farm. There's nothing like drinking water. We are living in Techiman, but there are some people living inside the bush that we say, those living in the Akan dialect, we say Ekurasifono. Sorry to say that. And actually, they also depend on this water. And now that this water is no more, that is their cry as to how to get water for their household chores.
What kind of mining were they doing? Were they using the excavators, or because this looks like, and you know, the dugouts are those of huge machines?
They brought excavators, bulldozers, and other things, and then they were not doing the shallow mining. This is the deep mining, because as you can see, this thing that you see like this, like a pond, when you fall inside, you die, because it is about 20 feet down.
Wow.
So when you fall inside this, you will easily die. And they've abandoned this for years. Meanwhile, we have people who can also talk for us, but they've left this and we are suffering.
So I'm trying to see if we can get closer, because I've been warned that this pit you see, for example, which is looks like a shallow pit, is not a shallow pit. This is actually about 20 feet, very deep. So if you fall in this, that's it, you're gone. You can't swim out. This is it. And for the past 8 years, this has been here. So the issue of galamsey that we're thinking it got worse recently may not be the case, especially here in this community in the eastern region. I just want to give you a proper idea of how serious the situation is here in this municipality. So look at this place, for example. You can see the water, the left abandoned pit, the water moving over there. And if I stand within the area, trying to give you an idea of how high the sand is, this will cover me. So you can have twice of me, and I'm about 5'7" twice of me. That's the height of the sand that you see, and then you can see the stone sea and all that. This area has sizes of ponds like this scattered all over. So this is one in your short, this is another one in your short, another one in your short, another one in your short. Remember that the Ghana Water Company has warned that it may be forced to halt operations in certain regions because of the lack of water to, you know, feed to households across those regions. And one of the regions that have been named is the eastern region. So we are going to go around the parts of the river that is left for you to even see the color of the river, what it's become, and then we'll take it from there. If you look behind me, you can see the river Pram, and you can see how brown the water has turned to. Behind me used to also be a farm, but today you can see that all this area has been destroyed. You can just see a bit of wheat and then a few trees, cocoa trees around there. Remember earlier I was telling you that parts of the river was blocked, diverted by these miners. So let me give you an idea of what that looks like now. So in your shot is an example of what happened. So boss, tell us about this situation. So this is where the water was blocked.
Yes, this is where it was blocked. So as you can see, they dug that area and then all the water just moved to that end, blocked this side, and the mining activity happened inside the river.
So right in the river, the mining happens. Well, the gold is in there as well?
Yes, the gold is in there. And then since there is a great river, that is where, to their belief, the miners, that is where they can get numerous of gold. So they always try as much as possible to mine inside the river instead of going outside the river.
So this river, where is it coming from and where is it going? This.
Okay, actually, so as you can see, we have the thick forest over there. And then per what my grandfather told me, the beginning of the river is coming from the thick of the forest, moving down this way. So actually, as it is coming, it will extend to the next communities out there to meet River Brim at Pramkese. So that is where it is going to.
So this goes to the Berem River, which has been destroyed as well.
Yes, please.
Okay. So this, I'm told, is part of the river pram. This has been diverted because of the activity. Nanaya, tell us about this situation. This is supposed to be a river body or part of it, right?
It is part of it. Actually, when they decided to mine inside the river, they diverted the river, so the whole river came to this place, and they blocked it over there, and the mining activity happened in the river. So after everything, then they decided to send the water back to where it was at first. So that is what happened.
So this has been here for how long, this particular situation, also within the 8 years?
Oh yes, within the 8 years.
Okay. So those people who were into farming, the old folks, what do they do now?
You see, that is the most dangerous aspect. I have my cocoa farm, I sell it. After taking the money, that's all. I will try to invest into other business out there. But it is not favorable for each and every one. It depends on what you use your money for. So that is what is happening now. And that is leading to a lot of social biases. Because, for example, we know that cocoa farm is inherited. So if I come to meet that there's nothing for me in the farm, then
what do you do?
What do I do? I'll enter into something different. And these robbery cases, unlawful activities going out in the community.
Zanaya, in our shot we can see an excavator, and what's these two machines? What are they for?
Okay, actually, as you can see, those there is what they use in washing the gold. So after they have extracted, they have dug a whole area, they will just collect what is supposed to be the gold or the sand to this machine, apply water. Yes, they have what we call water hose over there, so they will apply the water hose, and then after blowing the water, it will wash away all the sand from it, leaving the particles that is supposed to be the gold. They will add lead or the mercury to it, and then they will extract the gold from it.
So all that water and all that moves to these trenches or ponds they've dug. Where do they go to?
Yes, that is what, as you can see, if they are going to work inside this, the water will be collected to this one. Okay. So after they are done with this, they will bring it back. Okay. Yes, that is what they normally do over here.
We can hear the sounds of excavators. So this is around 4:5 actually, on a Friday in Kwaebiberem municipality, and they are working.
Yeah, work is ongoing. As you can see, we can see that they have about 3 excavators around, and they are all working now. They are trying to dig the trench, and then from tomorrow going, those in charge of the washing will also come in here and wash and extract the mineral or the metal from it.
So we're still here in the eastern region, still in the Kwaebiberem municipality. I'm going to another place. This is supposed to be a sacred area, I'm told, where the gods from this area are supposed to be. So a pretty sacred area, but the activities of the illegal miners have, with want of a better way to construct this sentence, I've cleared the place of these sacred beings. So we're told that they are not really here anymore like before. So I'm trying to make my way into the forest. Oops! Oh, I'm sinking. Thank you. So this is how serious it is. I'm stuck in it. And now I have to be helped out. I'm going in again. Oh my God.
Oh, yeah.
It's funny, but it's serious. So my cameraman is also on the floor. So these pits of mud are actually not what you think they are. They are actually... Shikara, are you okay? So I just sank into that. So very dangerous area. And these are all wells that have been dug, and they're pretty dangerous. Wow.
Someone came to perform rituals over here. That is why we have the queen. You see the queen over there? Yeah. And then this bottle, as you can see, per the traditional belief, the traditional worshippers believe that if they have, or if an individual is having a problem, being any problem at all, it is their belief that when they come here and try to pacify the gods, call upon the gods will respond. So when you get closer to the river, it can be seen that someone just placed a quern over here. This is like going to the house of someone. You just knock. So the person coming to pacify the gods will put the quern down to signify that he or she is knocking for him to be accepted, and then express his or her grievances as to what he is having here in mind. So that is it.
So this is still the Pram River?
This is still the Pram River. Yeah, this is still
this water is coming from where? At the top?
Yeah, it's coming from the top. Yes, to this place. So this place in the Akan dialect, we call it Asorieso. Where?
What does that mean?
Okay, this is a sacred place for the so. For example, if there is a pandemic in the community, this is where the chief and then the elders or the person responsible to this place will come and then pour libation and then try to ask for forgiveness as to what has transpired in the community.
With this water, the dirty water, does it still work?
That is what one of the citizens just said, that since the water is being contaminated, it is their belief that there's no spirit in the water again. Why? Because all these mining activities has created this mess, and then with reference to this, the ghosts are no more living in the water again. That is it.
All right. So these are shots from the river Pram. I can't get close. It's pretty dangerous. I may fall in. So the closest I can get is this, just to give you an idea of how dirty the water has become, and of course contaminated. And you can see the trees that have been destroyed, a number of them fallen, and some we just see the seeds. No more the cocoa farms, no more the bamboo plantations, no more the oil palm plantations. And you can see the water coming from the top, also polluted and all muddy because of that. And you can see my boots also muddy, just coming from a dugout pit. I was just lucky it wasn't deep enough and survived it. So this is how precarious the situation is, how dangerous it is. And this is the Pram River, goes into the Brim River, which has also been destroyed by the activities of illegal miners.
From the heart of Achim-Techiman, somewhere in the Kwaebiberem district, Vivian Kai Loco, almost sinking in the soft earth created by galamsey activities. But Vivian, we thank God that you're here.
Charlie, the way my heart cooked at that point, I was like, Charlie, can't kill. I might have to die in the Eastern region. I can't have to die in the Eastern region.
Wow, wow, wow. Now, there are so many layers of things to unpack out of this. One of the things I was wondering about was, so there's no sense of, I mean, it must be pure evil that leads people to dig up land like this
and abandon it.
And just abandon it.
Yeah.
I mean, there's nothing else except you are just a wicked, evil. I mean, I don't even know. I can't find a word that is big enough to express how I feel about this. You know, because you've rendered the land useless. So are they honestly thinking that Ghana has limitless land and they can continue like this, point to point, point to point, point to point, and keep doing this across the entire country? I mean, really.
You know, it's so unbelievable. The whole thing reminds me of when we were kids. You know this cartoon, Captain Planet?
Yes.
And then the five, whatever, Earth, Wind, they go saving the planet. And you see destruction of the whole place, dug up pits and all that. And it's like it was just a cartoon thing. But in real life, it's happening. You know, mining, it's okay if it's done well or rightly. Yeah. So you dig up the place, you're supposed to cover it up, you're supposed to reclaim, you know, the destroyed parts. Yeah. There are authorities in charge that are supposed to ensure that there's reclamation is done. Yeah. And traditional authorities also have to put pressure and ensure that reclamation is done. Yeah. Is it been done? No. So there was a part, the gentleman took me to where there had been some bit of reclamation. The place had been covered up and the cocoa seedlings have been planted there. And I mean, it was just a small portion, area, so, you know, just like this area. But it showed that it can be done. Yeah. So when these people go around digging and, you know, creating all these trenches, creating all these death traps, the authorities who are supposed to ensure that they do the right thing are not doing that. Yeah. Imagine if your child goes around to go and play there. What happens? No, I mean, a cocoa farmer's, you know, child goes, or there's a storm and can't find its way around, and then that's it. So you wonder, those in charge, what really do they do? Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's a failure of leadership at so many levels. You know, of our system. Change. Yeah, it's failure on so many levels. So you find this passing of the buck as our leaders are arguing as to who's responsible. It wasn't me. It's supposed to be you. It's supposed to be you. You know, this thing where I don't remember a few weeks ago, chiefs will say, "Well, no chief issues, you know, permits, so then it can't be us. It must be the. But and yesterday after the we played the first part of the 3 series of this, you know, prominent people in society were sending me message and asking me, how is it possible that you are in your area? Yeah, I mean, as a chief, and you tell us that the next thing people from wherever invaded your town and they started mining. How does that work? It doesn't work. It's like you're in your house. Yeah. The next thing, six guys from the studio enter your house. They start tearing the place upside down. And you're helpless. You're helpless. Who did you reach out to help you? What did you do to stop them? You know, it's what it is. And so for me, again, it's this conversation about leadership failure. Now, leadership failure doesn't mean that you are not aware. Leadership failure means either you are not really in control of your jurisdiction, or you are in control, but you're complicit. Yeah. You know, in one way or another. Or you are part of it. Well, yes, you know. So you've taken money and turned a blind eye. There's some kind of incentive or benefit for you and turned a blind eye, or you yourself are an active galamseyer. You know, I mean, there's no logic on this earth that makes any sense to see this level of devastation of our lands and forests. You know, without the involvement of and I like what Otunfo said. I think last month or so, when he met with his chiefs, he said that this galamsey thing, when we get up as chiefs, we say, no, we are not part of it and all that. Meanwhile, it's happening in our backyards. Whoever this is happening in their backyard and has taken, made any action, should raise a hand here and let me know, and nothing was done. Which one of you went out of your way to stop it? Or to say that, oh, I did this and that and nobody helped me? Or which one of you? So you can't tell me that you're in charge of an area. And interestingly, at that meeting, when he asked that question, nobody raised their hand. Nobody. We've seen cases. Very telling. Yes, we've seen cases where DCEs have fought. What's the name of the DCE? The Elembela one. Elembela one. And he was even arrested him and this. And you know, till the Sofiri also chief stopped in his backyard. Before he stopped his, the refrain among the chiefs were, we can't do anything about it. till the guy was like, you can't come here and come and do anything in my backyard. Don't pass it.
And Domain Crow
did the same thing. The refrain among the traditional authorities were, oh, we are helpless. We can't. Meanwhile, you are the custodian. The lands we see in Ghana, stool or family lands, that's it. So you are seeing cocoa farmers who are holders of family lands giving it to these mining people, or the stools giving it to these miners. So which one of us in this community is saying that you didn't know that the person, somebody nobody will get up and just went through. And in that same municipality, there was a place, I think, called Doche or so. The day before we got us, or the morning before we got there, the people in the area blocked people who were driving excavators into the town from coming there.
Wow.
Because they said, we haven't gained anything from this mining activity. You are come to destroy this community. We are already poor. There's no incentive for you to destroy and go. So we will not allow you.
You won't even enter.
You see that community. The road is, I'm not exaggerating, the size of the road in the community is like this studio.
Wow.
Right?
Wow.
And then the houses are by the road.
Yeah.
And one gentleman was telling us that if you are driving this excavator in this community, which is so close up, the roads, the houses, and a kid is playing, because the kid doesn't know excavators, what happens? So we can't allow you in. Nobody has, you are just coming in. And so now communities are standing up. We expect the traditional authorities to also stand up. You don't need to be confrontational.
No.
You don't need, if you come and everybody is standing outside the access route, everybody, where would you pass? Would you pass over the human beings?
You can't drive over them.
So there are things we can do on our own.
I really believe so. I mean, and for me, it's about the kind of leadership amongst us as a people where we say, you know what, if our leaders in government have failed us, if at every level of the MMDAs, there's failure, no problem. We the people, we will not fail ourselves.
We can't.
You will not come to this community as long as we are here. And we'll stand together and we'll block you, we'll prevent you from coming. Let's applaud people,
those who are
like
doing
the
so.
Sefi Yosu chief and the Domain Crow chief for standing up for their communities and their people and doing the right thing. And as we've heard, and we'll take our cameras there as well, their waters have started recovering, you know, and which is very commendable, you know, of them. You know,
what we can do as media people is to go and tell the story. Bring the story to light. And we will do it. And in cases where we have to be active and fight, we will do what is expected of us. So Kweku, this series of reports didn't end yesterday. We're continuing today. Today we're looking at speaking to the cocoa farmers, the farmers, to tell us how this mining
has impacted them.
And then on Wednesday, we have the final part where we show you the people, not the big guys, from the middle chain all the way to the lower chain, those behind or within the galamsey thing, why they are doing it, what pushed them into it and all that. So 8 p.m. tonight on the Citi newsroom, we have the second part. Yesterday on About Town as well at 7:30, Caleb had also spoke to. I was with Caleb there, so so tonight 8 p.m. we bring you the second part of this report from Kwaebiberem.
All right. Well, we're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. Breakfast Daily will continue shortly.